So, guys, welcome back again to my life. Today, we'll be talking on the issue of slavery in our country, Nigeria. I don't know what this country is turning into, but bandits are now taking over this country as if it's their own. So, terrorists have turned us into slaves. Lament Niger State community residents. Can you imagine how these people come out with all boldness and then they're doing all manner of things they're doing? Can you imagine turning a residence into slave? That means you've come to their farmland, you took over the farmland, and then you convert it to your own. Who does that? And I don't think the government is there to do anything about this, and it's a bad thing for the country because one major thing that causes hunger in Nigeria, to be honest with you, is insecurity. Because when farmers are not allowed to go to their farm to farm, then how else are we going to get produce or crops to feed on? These are the questions that is resulting to insecurity in Nigeria. And I think that's what the government is not looking into. This shows a very bad sign for our country. Because could you imagine in a state where the bandits are taking over? That sends a bad signal. Can you imagine just taking over the state and then turning farmers into slaves, which means we are telling them to do what they don't want to do just for you to get away with their crops? How does that sound? And how do you think that will help solve the problem they are facing in this country? I don't think it will. So the government should know what they'll do about this insecurities. It's getting out of hand. And if they continue like this, that means hunger will loom this country to the end. Because in a country or in a state where there is no security, the farmers cannot go to farm and farm. Problem of this country is insecurity and hunger, and then you cannot resolve one without resolving the others. If you say farmers will go to their farmland to farm and get crops for us to feed on, you see that there will be attacks on their way. We've heard of so many incidents on the other side, mostly where farmers are being threatened by the herdsmen and their crops being eaten up by these cows and all these planting herdsmen. And they tell me how they will have something to harvest and bring for us to eat. These are the things that is bothering us and bothering me in this country that the government is not even looking into to tackle, and it's a bad thing. So the residents of Shiroro local government area in Niger State have raised alarm over the increasing control of terrorists and bandits in their communities, where locals are reportedly being enslaved to work on farms for the criminals. It was gathered, it was gathered that a terrorist group, a terrorist leader collected over 20 bags of soya beans from farms in Alaya and nearby areas. 20 bags of soya beans. You know how hard it is to even cultivate those crops. And then coming up for the terrorists to come and collect it from you. How does that sound? How does that make Nigeria a better place? It's not a good thing to even hear because it's a very bad thing that the farmers will suffer and then come up and cultivate for only for bandits to come up and take over and just threaten them because those bandits are armed and the farmers are not armed. So they don't have right, they don't have a weapon to defend themselves against these bandits. The only people that are licensed are the soldiers and the military, but where are they? Because some are only leaving the army force in Nigeria to go and join the Britain and then the Ukraine army because of how the government is treating them. The government is treating our armies so badly that they are living and careless of the security of this country. And you can't even blame them because a place you're not well taken care of and you know what you're giving in and it's not being appreciated, you have to go and look for a better place to serve so that you can be appreciated. So speaking at an emergency press conference in Mina, Salihu, secretary of the coalition of Shiroro Association, called for the urgent return of military forces to Alawa and surrounding communities to protect residents and allow displaced farmers to resume their livelihood. Are you calling on military forces? Are you taking care of them? These are the things that need to be asked. Those people you are calling back, do you take care of them? Because the main reason they are leaving the force is because they are not being taken care of. And you can't be calling them back to come and risk their life on something that you not appreciate as a government. As a government, the life of these people should be the top one number is priority. Because if the armies and security forces are not taken care of, they can never take care of the citizens and residents of any community. So I don't think army should blame in anything again for my henceforth since they have not been taken care of. And it shock you that they've not been paid August salary. Today is 6th of September and they've not been paid August salary. How do you expect such people to work? Sally, who stated that the withdrawal of soldiers 3 months ago led to a surge in terrorist and bandit activities, forcing residents to collaborate with this group for survival. Could you imagine? So they've been living, and now they've left 3 months ago, which now open the road for the bandits and terrorists to come and terrorize the community. This is what happens when the armies are not being taken care of. I cannot ever emphasize on this issue of taking care of our security agents. If you don't take care of our armies, there will be more loopholes for insecurities in Nigeria. There will be more loopholes for bandits to take over Nigeria. There will be more loopholes for bandits to do anything that they want to do and go scot free because the armies are hungry. They cannot protect somebody when they are hungry. They have to protect their own family first by looking for what to provide for them, thereby leaving the army in Nigeria to join the Ukraine army. Could you imagine such? So the terrorists are growing stronger and without military intervention. The communities are at risk of becoming a terrorist stronghold. Salihu warned. What do you expect in a community where the securities are hands off? What do you expect in a community where the security are tired of protecting the citizens because of how they are being taken care of? What do you expect in a country where the securities are leaving the Nigerian security to join another country security? What do you expect when the government is not taking care of our security men, our armies, our soldiers, our police are not being taken care of? What do you expect will happen? They have to leave, and then them by them leaving is opening arms, opening ways for this for more insecurities in Nigeria. More harm is coming in this country if care is not being taken care of. He called on the Niger state government to strengthen its cooperation with security agencies and equip local vigilante groups to defend the vulnerable areas. And yesterday, live for those that were there, I made a statement or I read out where the reasons why they are leaving this Nigeria army or Nigeria forces is because they said that they don't have any modern weapons, they don't have any arm, they're not being taken care of, they're not being paid salary, they're not being paid their bonuses. Then how can they now protect the masses or protect the residents from these terrorists? Because these terrorists are always armed. I don't know who used to sponsor those arms for them, and that's a question that needs to be asked. And investigation needs to be done. How did they get these people? Who funds them? Who gets them for them? How did they get it into the country? Who to supply these things for them? These are the things the government needs to put in check in order to curb insecurities in Nigeria. Without these things, I don't think they can curb insecurities in Nigeria. So, the president of the Lapa Youth Forum, Babangida Kudodo, lamented the lack of action from both state and federal governments despite numerous reports of the deteriorating security situation. One thing with this government is that they don't even care about anybody. You can report, they won't do anything. Just take note of just take let me take you back to the protest. A whole 10 days protest happened and then nothing, the government didn't do anything, they don't care, they don't bother, lives was lost, they don't even care, some were killed, some were arrested, they don't care. Some reports have been going to them that some communities are no longer safe. It's not being caught Sambisa. There was a state the other side where they named a forest, Sambisa Forest, because of how insecure it is and how bandits have terrorized that place. And they reported to the government. Nothing was done. State governments, federal governments are doing absolutely nothing. The only thing they've been doing is buying convoy for the senators, buying this, building this, signing this, these bills, going in. That's the only thing they've been doing. None of the Nigeria's welfare is a concern. They don't even care. So he disclosed that some informants who were arrested and later released have become threats to the communities, further exacerbating the problem. Further compounding the crisis, Abdullahi Suleiman Erena warned that the Lepa Aziz, comprising the 8 political wards, is at risk of becoming a stronghold for various terrorist groups, including Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Ansaru. Could you imagine this list of terrorists. Can you imagine this list of terrorists are now coming out to take over the community, and the government is doing absolutely nothing? They reported to the state governments, nothing was done. Federal government, nothing was done. And the forces of the army, or let's say the military, are leaving the community. Like I read here, they say that they left 3 months ago, which brought in more insecurities and more terrorists into the community. And that's what was expected, because in a community where there's no more security, insecurity takes over. It's just simple as that. So he described the situation as a developing terrorist ecosystem, and criticized the press and government for underestimating the severity of the issue. That's just the thing there. They are, let's say they are just underestimating what is happening. Is it because they are not there, or because they are not affected? Is that why they are feeling so reluctant? Because let's tell me that they've reported so many times that insecurity is here and here, but nothing is being done. You do not deploy anything. But if it's to deploy securities over protest, over peaceful protesters, they will do that one. They have that one A1. They can deploy them from any state. Come here, come to Abuja and secure this place. But they cannot do it to secure the life of the masses. That is a bad sign, and it's not good. And this sends a bad warning. The government should know what they're doing. They should wake up, because this upcoming protest, I'm not supporting that, but the way I'm seeing it, with this way the government are going, not addressing the issues of the protester that happened 10 days ago, 10 days, what that happened some months ago. If nothing is being done, this one, nothing can stop it. It's either way, because people are now hungry, angry, and that's why there are more insecurity in the country. So you also pointed out the risk to federal capital territory due to its proximity to Shiro local government, stressing the urgency of dislodging the terrorists and restoring security to the region. A lot of complaints have been made about this issue of security to the government, and nothing has been done. In his remarks, Sani Abubakar Yusuf criticized the Niger Delta state government for failing to pressure the federal government to address the escalating security situation. First of all, what are the state government doing? Before you go to the federal government, I believe the state government must have tried something, or tried a means to curb the insecurities in that community. The question is, what have they done, or what have they been doing to address that? That's what's meant to be asked. Before it can get to federal state, the federal government, the state should have actually done something, and then if they cannot do it, they'll take it up to the federal government. But you can see the both of them are just quiet. Nothing is being done up till today, 3 months ago, when the military are leaving. Till today, nothing has been done to bring back those military men, to ask why, and why are they leaving, and where are they leaving to. Come, let's address these issues, because this community needs security. No, they don't do that. Now they are living, and guess what? The community is very, 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 very insecure, and anybody can come up in the country, in the state, and do as they want. Can you imagine turning farmers into slaves in their own farmland? That is, you are forcing them to harvest what they've cultivated, and then they give you, you take over, because you're threatening them that if they don't do it, you buy their life or you take their life. How does that sound? That sound and say the bad together, though. So the state government needs to do more than just lament. He stated, stressing that the larger population cannot be abandoned in the face of this growing threat. One thing about growth is that once you don't stop it at the initial stage, it keeps on growing till it gets out of hand. And once it gets out of hand, it's very hard to maintain again. It's very hard to cope, because this issue now has been raised so many times, some months ago, that these securities are looming the country, they are looming the state. Small, 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 they felt reluctant. It kept on growing. Small, small. There's a level it will reach. Nobody can enter the community again. Even security cannot enter. If you enter, they will buy you, because they left it from the initial stage when it was little and can be taken care of. I left it, it was growing, growing, growing. Now Boko Haram are there, ISWAP are there, Ansur terrorists are there. A lot of terrorists are there now. Tell me how they intend on curbing these insecurities in that community. And that's why people are flying out from that community. Imagine a community that lived once peacefully. Farmers farm, go to their farmland peacefully, and they cultivate, they harvest, and then they sell to make money, and also to provide food for the community. But now they don't do it. Let me tell you, the implication of this thing that happened now is that there'll be very more hunger in that state, because no more crops is being sold out for people to eat. There will be poverty more in that community because farmers no longer sell anything to have money, and people cannot feed them again. Then people's lives will be at stake because once you don't do what they say you do, they don't have any option than to buy you. That's how this will work. If you don't agree to their terms, you're going down. And if you go down, it's a bad thing for anybody in this country. I don't know. The government should do something about this. This is really baffling me, and it's really baffling situation, and it shows cause and showing cause. And actually, I'm showing concern to that because I can feel the pain they're going in right now. That you wasted your time to cultivate in your farmland only for terrorists to come up and take over that farm. So anything you harvest is for them. Can you imagine a place I read that they say that the terrorists have taken 20 bags of soya beans. Do you know how much is one bag of soya beans right now? Then you suffer to cultivate it and then only to come up and then dash it out to terrorists because they were armed and because the security failed to actually address and protect that community. It's so bad to even listen to and to hear. I don't know what else this government wants from us. Is it until all of us have been fired before they wake up and do something? Because they're just all concerned about their own personal interests. That doesn't show a good leader. They should wake up and address the situation of the country by doing what? By providing securities and making sure the life of the residents in every state is being taken care of. That's why I will still be applauding Governor Alex Soti, how he took over Abia State and turned it into a better state, which no other states have tried to emulate. You should emulate from the best. Look for a way to better the life of your state. That's why you are giving that's why they gave you, or I say that's why they elected you as governor of that state, is to make the life of your people better by providing welfare, building for them infrastructures, providing jobs, and curbing hunger in the state. That's why you are being elected by the state government. But guess what? Those people here are just busy. I don't know what they do with our money, by the way, but that will take time will tell how all these things will go. I'll see you guys in my next live. Don't forget to stay tuned. I'll be going live again in a moment from now. Stay tuned, guys. I'll see you guys in my next live.